Hello, this is Spellbinder with this interesting article I come across today. It's from the Honorary American, the World Watch section. This article first appeared in print in the Rhinoceros Times, Greensboro, North Carolina. Let's see, by Olson Scott Card, September 19, 2010. Obama spits on the Constitution. What do you do if you're president and you want to nominate an extreme leftist to be in charge of American banking and consumer lending? By law, the position requires the advice and consent of the Senate, and you know that your candidate for the job will never be confirmed. Many in your own party won't vote for her. It will be a big public relations mess. Well, here's what you do. If you're Barack Obama, you appoint her to a much lower level position, an advisory one that doesn't require Senate confirmation, but then you instruct the Secretary of Treasury not to interfere with any of her decisions and make sure they're carried out. Technically, she doesn't have the position that requires a Senate confirmation. Therefore, she doesn't have the title or the salary, but she has all the power of that position, and the cabinet officer who was confirmed by the Senate has been told that this appointment has the ear of the president, which is code for stay out of her way. The extremist who has been unconstitutionally given authority she has no right to hold is Elizabeth Warren, who is effectively running the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau without any checks or balances whatsoever, unless you count Obama's firm hand. If Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner had any spunk at all, he would resign his position over this. Obama's action is unconstitutional and politically stupid. It shows his contempt for the Constitution. It shows his ignorance of the contempt for the American business. Something as vital as consumer credit is no longer under the supervision of our elected representatives. Now Obama and his cronies can do what's good for us, without our opinion mattering at all. As the Wall Street Journal puts it, remind us again why the Tea Party critique of Obama's governance is crazy. Because it's not crazy. It's true. He's a Marxist. He does as he wills. It's called dictatorship. If the Republican Party had any spunk, they would respond to this outrage by introducing a resolution of impeachment in the House of Representatives. President Obama has clearly shown by this action that he despises his oath of office. Remember, we really don't want to impeach him if we can indict him. Indictment means we get rid of everyone he put in there, the czars, the appointees, the Supreme Court, everyone. His records become public that he made non-public the first day he was in office. He had them sealed. At the same time, he was saying transparency. He had all his records sealed, so you could never know if he was a real citizen or not. And everything goes away back to then. And we get rid of this Marxist socialism that we're under. He promised in that oath to faithfully execute the office of President of the United States. He avowed that he would, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Circumventing the advice and the consent row of the Senate is a clear violation of the Constitution. Instead of preserving, protecting, and defending the Constitution, he is doing his best to erase it, to make it meaningless. And the fact that the Democrats in the Senate are sitting still for this shows what depths the Democratic Party has sunk to. There was a day when, regardless of party loyalty, Congress would have acted at once to block a president for a power grab like this. After all, what is to stop him from appointing all kinds of unconfirmable radicals, morons, and other offensive candidates as advisors to the president, then instruct cabinet officials to look the other way, as these illegal appointees do whatever they want? This is what dictatorship looks like, boys and girls, and Obama has been doing it all along. What do you think his czars are? But this case is so obvious and so dangerous to the economy as well as to our freedoms that it cannot be allowed to stand. But even if Obama decides to withdraw his unconstitutional appointment, we must not forget that this is what he wants to do and how he wants to govern. Even a brainless rubber-stamp Congress like this one seems to annoy Obama too much for him to put up with that silly Constitution stuff. What will Obama do when he faces at least one House with a Republican majority? When the Democrats lose Congress in 1994, Bill Clinton suddenly discovered how conservative he had been all along and coopted all the Newt Gingrich's achievements so that he could get reelected. See, he actually turned around and said, oh, I'm going to lose something here. I better turn around and be like a Republican for a little bit before I go back to being a ultra-leftist. But Obama, he's shown that he'll simply ignore the Constitution, and and that'll be that. The question is, how far can he go? At what point do loyal, oath-keeping government officials say, I will not follow that instruction because it's unconstitutional? Better to be fired by this president than to remain in an administration that is determined to govern as if we had a dictatorship of the proletariat instead of a constitution. I know it's pronounced a little differently than that. You can see that link here at the Honorary.org essays, War Watch. And now I'm going to show you this. This is something I put on there. See, Covert went on, we went on to Congress, I guess, to talk to them about the illegals doing the picking and everything, and that the Americans need jobs. It was pretty interesting. But this is what I had to say in general about the government that is in Congress and the Senate. Politicians in the U.S. government are about 85% plus lawyers. A lawyer defined in Old Latin means liar. In Roman times it was the best liar who could convince the counsel of the innocence of a defendant. Therefore, when voting for a politician, do not vote for a person with a lawyer's background if you want him or her to be truthful to you while they are in office. These people are trained to be able to lie with a straight face. This seems to be true with the Democrats more at this time. They have promised the world, then have done the opposite once in office. Obama, the liar in command. Republicans have done the same. Bush Sr., read my lips, no new taxes. And what did he do? He raised taxes. If you put liars in charge, don't be surprised if they lie to you. The Founding Fathers were not lawyers and were honest to the people because of it. They were businessmen wanting to get back to their business after serving the country. They had honest work to go back to once out of office. Have you ever heard of an ex-president who was a lawyer ever get back to being a lawyer? No. They want to go on to positions of power where their skills at lawyerisms, lying, can be more useful to the elitist banker corporations that now have taken control. Colert's 5-minute statement brought truth to a dry group of liars who are for amnesty for illegals and not jobs for the American people. I say America first in dealing with jobs, then the illegal problem for jobs. If we are going to give amnesty to illegals, then why do we have an immigration office at all? We might as well get rid of the immigration office and save millions a year and give that money to the American people who will need it when the country is overran by illegals and there are no jobs for people born here called citizens. Well, that's it for now. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not really sure if Bush Sr. was a lawyer, but he was as good of a liar as one. Oh, CIA. I guess that's a type of a liar. A lawyer. Well, until next time, be good at it. Enjoy this article I brought to your attention. Good day.